What's up YouTube, this is Rambo from Team Envious coming to you today with a Scuf controller review. I'm going to be talking about the basics of the controller for those of you who don't know what a Scuf controller is or have never really seen one or used one before. So let's get right into it. The product I have today is the Scuf Envy controller, obviously the one I use. Definitely a really sexy looking controller. I'll just give you a clear look around the controller. You can somewhat see the features right away. But let's get right into it. So there's pretty much three main features that my controller has that a normal controller does not have. If you go to an Xbox controller, that's completely normal, what we're talking about here. So pretty much the first feature that you're going to notice is the two little paddles in the back. Those are paddles you can't really see, but if you see now, you can see they're button paddles. So pretty much what happens is the left paddle, or the one on the right side of your screen is left for me, is the A button, and the one on the right is the B button. So pretty much those allow me to jump and crouch or lay down, or if you're a tactical button layout user, you'll be able to knife with those. But those allow me to use those A and B buttons without having to leave my analog stick if I'm a normal player. So I personally play default and hold the controller as newbiest as you can be. I'm pretty much a guy who just picked up a controller. I've always played this way, so but yeah, so I don't play claw like other people do. For those who don't know what claw is when you use your index finger to press the buttons. So this allows you to pretty much do what I'm doing without the controller, but this is with the controller. So pretty much this allows me to stay in my comfort zone and using this controller to my advantage and pressing the A button and jumping around without having to lose my aim or drop my thumbstick, my right thumbstick analog to do something else. So a huge feature for me. The second feature we talk about is the trigger stops, which are, you can see there's a screw on the trigger up here, and there's a screw in the middle right next to it. You can't really see, it's black on black, but both triggers have this. This is a feature that allows you to tighten in your trigger to where you don't have to activate the trigger, you don't have to press it all the way in. And pretty much, if you tighten it to the max, you pretty much only have to just tap it like a tiny little bit for the trigger to be activated, which makes a huge difference if you're using a semi-automatic weapon or anything in general. The reaction time of that motion is much more clear, and obviously we're talking about milliseconds here, but as we know in Call of Duty or any sports in general, milliseconds make a huge difference at the end of the day. So that's pretty much what the trigger stops are. The last feature I'm going to talk about today is the Scuf grip, which is the only on the back controller. If you look at the front, it's all flat surface, pretty much plastic. It looks a bit almost like chrome, but it's really not. And if you look at the difference there, looks like there's air bubbles, which is pretty much what they are. It's a rubber surface that has that was infiltrated with air inside, and it makes for a much grippier, there's a much more grip to this surface than the front of the controller. So pretty much when you're holding a controller, you pretty much decide how you hold the controller with the back side of the controller. So for all these people that have sweaty hands or stuff like that, this is a huge help for you. Or if I don't have sweaty hands, so even if I don't have sweaty hands, this is a huge help for me because the feel of the controller is much better feel to it. It feels much more natural holding a controller than a regular Xbox controller, to where sometimes I would kind of have to maybe reposition my hand a few times before I get a complete feel for it, while this one is pretty much just instant. And the last thing I'll talk about this controller today is the analog sticks. You can't really see it, but it's really something you're going to have to trust me with. It's the feel of the analog sticks. For those of you who play a lot of Xbox and have the same controller for a little while, if you would please take your controller and move your middle analog stick around, and you would see it's gonna without you having to push it with it. I'm not sure if it's an elastic in there. I've never actually opened a controller, but the motion pretty much there's retracting. So obviously the analog comes back to normal when you push it aside. But with a regular Xbox controller, if you push it, if you use it enough, you're pretty much gonna have this loose middle area to where you're actually moving your analog stick, but it's not actually going to move on your controller's not actually registering the movement. Something the Scuf controller barely has, or it's non-existent. The feel of these analogs feel exactly like brand new. I could pretty much play with my Scuf controller out of the box. At least that's my personal opinion on it. But the feel of these analog sticks is awesome. And I really like playing with an Xbox controller right now. Would seem like a burden to me because this controller feels so good. So this is pretty much it for today. I just want to show you guys my controller. For those of you who haven't seen a Scuf, if you guys want to get one of those, you can go to scufgaming.com. You can also use my promo code, which is just simply Rambo. You'll get 5% off anything you buy on the site. It doesn't have to be an Envy Scuf controller. You can buy pretty much anything you want. Obviously, the Envy Scuf controller, as you can see, is pretty darn sexy. And even when you open it up, it's got a blue LED in the middle. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Hope you guys enjoyed the Scuf, and I hope you guys can enjoy this product as much as I did in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Peace, guys.